What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stone, and today we have another Black Series figures review here for y'all to hear today. And this is the Mandalorian-Shriek Trainers 2-pack, a Walmart exclusive. I just picked this up, and this is a fantastic looking set. As I said in my last review for the Mandalorian-Shriek here, I feel the need to support and buy every Mandalorian that comes out, or at least most of them if I can. And if I like the design, if I'm into it enough, I'm just not just gonna buy it on pure just will or whatever. I have to really like it or whatever. But these look fantastic, man. This female Mando has so much deco and overlays going on with her. I'm really excited to check her out. And honestly, this male Mandalorian looks pretty dope, man. As I said, like I said on my last review, these a lot of these are pretty much just kit bashes and mixed matches and new tooling of the Death Watch Mando. And just real quick, this is a pretty decent sized box. I'll show y'all a little bit of the front and the back of the box. Not so much to look at. Some reviewers go over the packaging, but to me, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I used to think it was more important. It is important. I'm not going to downplay it, but I'm just not as concentrated on it as I used to be. But this is I like the straight packaging. Like they're getting away from the slant. To be honest, this packaging feels a little more premium. I don't know. The cardboard feels thicker. I just like the aesthetic of it better, a little more streamlined. But I'm really excited to get into both of these, and for another thing too, for 44.99 for two figures, that's slightly under retail, under 24.99 for both of these figures. And I just think that's awesome, man, especially because, like I said, these are a lot of reuse and just retools from the original Death Watch Mando and any other Mandos that have come out since then as well. But like you said, these are just kit bashes of different pieces of armor that have come on different figures and stuff. But I do like that we're getting some more colors, and it's not just straight up dark blue, light blue Mandos. I like this variety we have going on here, the different colors of the armor. Like I said, the kit bashes that we have, the different pieces of armor as well, like aesthetic looking armor. Just really excited to get in this. So let me not waste any more time, and I'll open it up. This is just something real quick I wanted to point out. If you look at these two helmets here, here's the Mandalorian Hawk Trainers 2-pack with the male that comes in it, and here's the Mandalorian Shriek Hawk, the single release Target exclusive. And you can see how this is like the flat tip of like the OG Mando helmet, and this is kind of like based off the newer Mandalorian style with the little cuts right here and the thinner visor and whatnot. Well, if you turn this around, even on the side art, it's got obviously on the back as well. But then you look at the figure, and it's just the regular Mando. It's not even the retooled or resculpted Mando helmet. So that's kind of weird. I noticed that last minute, but even looking on here, you can see these are the exact same helmet. This one is not the thinner visor like compared to um like Mando here. Like here, I already have them out. If you look at these, both of these helmets next to in front of each other, you can see how this one's got these little. It's like triangulated a little bit. It's got some edge down here at the bottom of the visor, whereas this one is just flush. It just goes straight, like the typical, like Boba Fett or Jango Fett, just the typical standard Mandalorian helmet. But that's just something I noticed that I wanted to point out. And here they are out of the box looking freaking badass, dude. I really dig these, man. I was excited for these when they were pipelined. And man, this is just cool. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm really favoriting this female for some reason. She looks badass, and uh, honestly, to admit, this is my well. Actually, I was about to say this is my only female Mandalorian, but that's a lie. I do have the armorer, but I picked her up from a comic shop loose. So this is only my second Mandalorian, my second female Mandalorian, and this figure just poses and moves very well. I like the articulation on it. Getting her to stand was a little bit of, which this is a kind of a dynamic pose, so maybe it was just me fiddling around with the figure, getting used to it. But this is there's a lot of paint on this figure, man. I really like this baby blue going on her like undersuit, her flight suit. And this gray goes well. Got the floating knee pads, of course. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, I see it now. It's not a floating. These are glued. You can see there's not even any straps going to the back, but that's not a big deal. It would have been better if they were glued right here, like, and so it could act like a knee actually acts. But I like this white here on this boot. This kind of orangish color, this like carrot color, pumpkin color. This one nice orange with this like green and silver, very nice. And like I said, I don't have many Mandalorians. I only have two, obviously, like I just said. So I don't know if this is reused from like Cosca Reeves or Bo-Katan or not. This is a very petite jetpack, that's for damn sure. But you can see in the back, it's not like the male Mandalorians where they have the peg hole and the two like little slots. This is just the peg. But getting a closer look at the, this is going to focus in. No, okay, hold on. Getting a close look at the jetpack here. There's some nice sculpting, got some nice silver. And I'll try to run through these fairly quick. I know it's 2 figures. I don't want this video to be too long. But I like this green color too, and the silver is very nicely applied, very precise. Like I said, this pumpkin orange is like very cool. Got a nice pop to it. So there's that. And then getting a closer look, I believe this is the Westar 34 or 35. I'm not totally sure. It's a little null and void of paint. It has this little bit of black here on the holster, but it's a little plain looking. Not the biggest fan of this sculpt, but and then here's that. It's pretty much an unnamed blaster still in the Star Wars universe. I like it cast in this black plastic with this very nice gold. Looks very nice. But this is I did put what this is based off of in my last video. It was some type of gas gun made by Defense Technologies. So it's like a 37 millimeter gas gun or something like that. It's what this rifle is based off of. But pretty cool mold. It's got like the front pistol grip, the front forearm grip. This is the pistol grip. Yeah, I like it with the scope. Very cool sculpt. And then getting on to the figure herself. Goes back into focus. So really, like I said, she's a petite figure. So most of the time with petite figures, you can get some pretty decent articulation. These ankles have a pretty decent bit of range up and down. There's rockers, of course. Get less than 90 with these knees. You can look at very, very deep cuts right here on the knee. With the holster here, it just wants to butt up with her armor here, her thigh plate against the holster, you can see. But if you, this side, she can get up, no problem. It rides right under her hip here, no issues. There is also, I forgot to mention, the knee swivel here. And this has thigh swivel. There's a little bit of rotation here as well. A little bit of side to side, not a whole lot. Pretty decent range in the head. There's also a flesh colored head under here, so that's interesting. It almost looks like Bo-Katan's head. I'm not sure though. We have a little bit of side to side tilts and get a little bit of expression, a little bit of up and down motion, so that's pretty nice. But all these overlays, dude, like this whole scarf piece here, there's just super clean paint. I love this like pumpkin carrot color here. Dark blue on the light blue, the baby blue, it just contrasts so well. And I like this little handkerchief she's got too. Love this pumpkin orange. I love that so much. The colors are just very random, but like they work well. Helmet's super clean as well. Got some nice silver, a little bit of blue going onto the silver. Working rangefinder, of course. So give you a little bit of a closer look real quick. Just a really nice looking figure, man. I really like these greens on here. Green, orange, and blue. I wouldn't have thought it would have gone together, but it does. I really like it. Just want to give you a quick overview, a little closer look at it. I got some nice pouches here. Also, this would like a little bit of a weathering to bring out these little pleats and in her costume here would look great. Getting up to the shoulder mobility too. Not too bad. Get a full T position, no problem. These shoulder pads right up under. There is rotation as well and elbow swivel, as you can see. Pretty deep cut elbows as well, as you can see. And there is no gauntlet swivel on these figures, but that's no big deal. And they did manage to sneak some butterfly joints up in there, so that's pretty cool. But put her down for a second, and we'll get to the male now. And we already took a look at this blaster, so we're not going to look at that again. But and then let me just get him set up here. Okay, so just starting off, this got this like very dark muddy brown color with the blue on the helmet. Got some greens here. There's that pumpkin orange again. You can see there's that slight reuse. Obviously, you can see this one's thicker. So this is a totally different sculpt. Obviously, a female, this would look wonky on her, but you get the idea. And I really like this like cross crotch like holster right here. And this whole piece is actually an overlay that goes over the top of it. Like the whole belt and the holster is attached here, as you can see. So the one thing I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all up front is, like, with these shoulder pads, you can't this overlay. This let me take this. Go ahead and take this jetpack off. This is a very thick overlay on here. It is pliable. It moves well. I don't know if you can tell that on camera, but it is pliable. But it's kind of the arms wanting to run into the top here, so it gets a little hairy trying to pull his arm. I mean, you can do it. It's not a big deal, but the overlay does kind of get in the way. You can kind of see it's sitting on top here, but you can still get the shoulders up with the O-ring shoulder pads as usual. Got the deep cut below 90, swivel at the elbow. Got a horizontal hinge, vertical hinge on the right, horizontal on the left. And something I meant to point out on the Shriek female is she's actually left-handed here. She's got her trigger finger on the left hand, and she's got a vertical hinge on the left, and then also a vertical hinge on the right. I forgot to mention that earlier. Got the nice. I believe this is the. Is this the Death Watch insignia? I believe it's on her. It's on a lot of the Mandalorians. But either way, it's clean. I can't. I believe it's the Death Watch insignia, but not totally sure. And I believe here is the West Star 35, and these look great. And here is the West Star 34, 35. I like this sculpt a little bit better than the females. I'll throw these up right beside. I need to get some tweezers, but there's a little bit more going on with the male. There's a little bit more black paint on here, so that's pretty nice. And just getting over. Well, I'll show y'all the helmet. I'm sorry, the jetpack. This nice dark blue. It's kind of like with this chrome silver. Looks very nice. Complements it very well. That's pretty sick. And this is also reused from the. I believe this is the same one where that the privateer has, if I'm not mistaken. And I do have. I think the. Yep. So you can see these are the same. So as well for the other Mandalorian Shriek, the single release Target exclusive as well, has the same jetpack. But so there's the jetpack, your typical peg and two slots that plug into the back. Here's the back, got this nice green color here. I like, or not, it shows up green on the camera, but it's kind of like a more of a brown in person. It's kind of like a greenish brown. It's very weird. But it got some nice pouches here, nice folds in the clothes. We do have the floating knee pads on this figure, so that's pretty cool. Got the different little kit bashes from got some different armor here. You can see the one with the shin guard. This is like almost looks like a kind of like the stormtrooper armor, a little bit with this knee. Got the thigh plates, which are pretty typical on every Mando. Gotta have your Beskar armor. Got some nice clean paint here as well. And I don't know what it is, dude. I just really love this like orange pumpkin color so much. But that's awesome. Could really benefit from a wash as well, just to bring out these little fine, minute details. Got this really interesting like bluish green here. I wouldn't even call it a teal, but very cool color. And you got this nice stripe on the front here. And this overlay is very thick, but it does help. It does move around, so that's the good thing. It will help you get the arms and the shoulders into those weird spots that you need it to. And just getting a closer look at the helmet here. Got a nice gloss on the visor here. Very clean black gloss. He's got this little antenna right here, which is kind of neat. A little bit different. Add some variety to the shelf. Just a plain blue helmet here. I'm trying to have the camera a little bit far out, but you can see here, very clean. But yeah, these figures are very fun to mess with. I like the new colors that they're giving us, and these just look badass, man. I'm really stoked to have these. Now it's time for the side-by-side comparisons, and as you can see, I have the Target exclusive single release Mandalorian Shriek with the trainers, and they really do look like an absolute unit together, man. I really like the differentiation in colors and like the kind of splashes of color that we have. I don't know what it is, dude, but this like pumpkin carrot orange on these two figures is just really got my attention. It keeps pulling my eye for some reason, but like I said, these look like an absolute unit together. I freaking love how these just the way they all look together. Just really awesome representation. Here on the far left is the Minds of Mandalorian. Now look at this shit, dude. It's just Mando Mania. But Again, here on the far left is the Mandalorian Privateer, and I really like this one. Maybe out of all of them the most. I don't know what it is. I know this is the most plain because it's just all blue with the gray undersuit, but I just like the aesthetic of it a lot. Now standing here on the far left is the Armorer. And now last off, concluding for the side-by-sides here on the far left is the OG Death Watch Trooper. This is kind of the Mandalorian that kind of started it all. This is like the OG from the Kit Bash for all of these, other than like the Mandalorian Din Djarin himself. And yeah, these just look absolutely badass, man. So what a fantastic set, man. Like I said, I feel the need to support and buy any Mandalorians that come out. Anytime they can give some cool repaints and retools like this to get a couple extra dollars or pennies out of a mold, I don't mind it, man, because these are just badass looking and they are screen accurate for the most part. Obviously, I haven't gone through and looked at every single freeze frame and picture of the show, but like, oh, these are pretty damn near accurate to some of the other extra Mandalorians that we get in season 3 of The Mandalorian. So I just I really like how these turned out. I love the extra colors that we're getting. And it may seem weird just like, oh, we're just getting blue manas, and they're just slapping a bunch of random colors, but like for some reason these color schemes work so well. Like this baby blue and the oranges just really fall all together so nicely, man. Like the greens and the browns on the male here, just very, very nice, man. Very, very just a lot of paint on these figures, man. I just can't. I'm very impressed. Like the way that they're doing this variability with these slight retools and just these, they're basically just kit bashes. These are basically like Hasbro customs. They're just taking different pieces of different other figures of Mandalorians and then just like interchanging them to make them different costumes and characters and shit. I just think it's a really ingenious way to, like I said, get a couple more dollars or pennies out of those molds so we can get all that is going to do is just fuel the line so we can get newer characters, new molds for newer characters, unique characters. So I mean, I recommend picking these up. Like I said, for $44.99 below retail for both of these because Hasbro's kind of I feel like they're kind of throwing us a bone, even though it's only a couple of dollars of retail. Even I know after tax you're still paying close to $50. I understand, but I don't know, man. I just think these figures are so worth having on the shelf. I think it's worth the money, and I'm just very very pleased. I cannot get over this pumpkin orange, dude. What is it? What is it with this color? It just keeps like pulling me in, dude. I can't explain it. But I'm gonna cut it short here because, as you all know, I do tend to ramble sometimes in my reviews. I could just talk and talk about Star Wars and these awesome pieces of crack plastic that we all know and love. But I really appreciate you all checking out this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like and subscribe. Check out some of my other content. I hope you enjoy that too. And most of all, I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the force be with you.